building the brakes first. Good morning, team. Thanks for checking in for the Next Kilograms Kilometers podcast. Today is on to high performance habit number 8, activation. And in terms of building the brakes, it's almost kind of thinking the opposite, whatever the main focus is for that day. So let's say if it's a big push day, if you're doing say some sort of bench press or overhead press or incline press, something like that. The opposite of that would be doing a slow and controlled descend, or doing a negative, so to speak. Now that doesn't mean that you do the negative as part of the warm up, but let's say if you're doing a push up and you take 10 seconds to lower down, or you do negative pull-ups, so eccentric pull-ups, just slow and controlled, lower down as far as as slow as you can. Another option would be doing like drop push-ups. So start with your hands in tight, like close grip, and then pop your hands out, catch at the bottom, to where you just have that sudden impulse of decelerating the movement and the momentum. Same thing can be done for lower body in terms of drop squats or even depth jumps, something like that, to where you're just catching at the bottom and getting that, just tapping the brakes, so to speak. Interestingly enough, heard a story recently that there were companies that were trying to build basically the fast trains, the bullet trains, and as they were building up the models, they found out that they couldn't build a brake system that could control even a fraction of the top speed that they wanted to get at with the bullet trains. So they had to ditch the whole project simply because they knew they couldn't build the brakes. Now, what does that mean for us as athletes? It's that we can really only be as strong as we can control, as we can decelerate that movement, and when we can't decelerate, that's when things are going to break down. So we've got to make sure that, think about if you're a throwing sport, or whatever your sport is, think about what your primary movement, primary power position is, or power movement, and then we've got to work backwards from that and think about, okay, what is the brake system, what is the control, or what is the control feature, control area, muscle, so to speak, in that movement. Make sure we build that up, and then we're going to be able to control that movement far more, which can actually increase our power production in the actual movement itself. So make sure we incorporate that stuff into our activation piece of the warm-up, right? Tap the brakes first. You don't have to do a lot of it, 1-2 sets, maybe 3-4 reps, just to get things firing, get the mind, get the central nervous system kind of thinking about that stuff before we get into the hot and heavy work itself. So hope you found that helpful. Share it with a friend, and let's all keep working.